No, please come here. Babe, please come here. Please sing what you just sang to the cat.
No.
Please, the people need to know. The people want to hear.
Have fun.
Oh my god. Reese sings this little precious song to our cats, and he is refusing to sing it for you all, so this is how we're starting the podcast, and I really encourage you to get in those comment section and really give him some grief. Say, I want to hear the song. I want to hear the song that we sing to the cats. And if we get enough comments, maybe he'll do it. So guys, get in that comment section and say, Reese, we want to hear what you sing to the cats. Guys, don't you want to know what's going on in the background of, like, me when I'm trying to plan for this podcast, and then I overhear this silly little song. I think you guys would all really love it. But he's being selfish and gatekeeping a beautiful melody that he came up with for the cats. Anyways, hi guys, welcome to Brinly's Yapathon. I'm Brinly, your host, and you're probably wondering what the fuck happened to my hair. So am I. Chat. So, here's the deal. I am going to Vegas in the Grand Canyon for my birthday. This is being pre-recorded. Like, if DJT, Lord willing, if he kicks the bucket and it happens while I'm on vacation, then I don't address it in this week's podcast. Well, I was on vacation. But Lord knows when it does happen, I won't shut the fuck up about it. Anyways, so the point is, I'm going to Vegas, I'm going to the Grand Canyon. Fun, cunty little way to spend my birthday. So everyone say happy birthday, Brinly. Yes, oh wow, thank you. You're all so kind. Yes, happy birthday to me. Wow, thanks. You're all so sweet. You're all too sweet, really. And I was like, I want like a cunty little hair color. Not cut. I wasn't planning on cutting it. Like, just give me the cunty little cut. Or not the cut. I can't speak. I was like, what's something fun I've never done before? And I just really was like, I've never been blonde. So let's just bleach my hair. Let's just do it. Like, I was like, I know how to bleach hair. It'll be fine. Girl, no! I fucked my shit up, dog! Ooh! Ooh! It was rough. It was not good. I bleached my whole head, and I already had the pink on it, and I had my roots grown out. And that shit snapped off! I was in the shower sobbing. I'm sobbing in the shower. I'm like, Reese! He comes in. He's like, what? He thinks I've died somehow. I'm like, just sit on the toilet and I just want you to be here. Well, he's like, what's happening? My hair is falling out. I'm like, put my hand out through the curtain. It's a fistful of hair. I was like, all my hair's gonna fall off. And I did. This just happened. No. It broke off in certain patchy parts. Like, there was like, this half of my hair was like, it had like about like right here, so like the length that it's cut to, a little bit longer, had like snapped off, but not this half of my hair. So this half of my head had like snapped off hair. And then, but this one didn't. For some reason, this one, like, I think I mixed it. I think like, I was dumb and I mixed it the wrong amount. Like, I wasn't measuring. I was like, I don't need to measure. I can just look at it. And then it got, like, really hot. Like, it got fucking warm. My head felt like it was on fire. And I was like, I gotta go wash this out. Traumatic. Like, and I've had hair fall out from stress before, but never like that. I literally was like, my poor drain. Like, oh my gosh. Like, it looked like somebody had killed Daenerys Targaryen in my tub. Like, which is, like, who I wanted to look like. With my short-ass haircut, why did I think I was gonna look like Daenerys Targaryen? I looked like her brother. And it was like, oh god. And I ran to the beauty supply store, because the beauty supply store girl and we kiki. And when I told her I was gonna bleach my hair, she was like, girl, don't do it. Don't do it. And I was like, girl, it'll be fine. Like, tee hee hee. And I was like, I mess it up. And she's like grabbing me a hair oil, and she's like, customers are coming in, she's putting the hair oil in my hair. I'm like, she's like, you gotta keep it in braids, you're gonna have to do this to recover it. Like, if you want this to grow out, you gotta do da-da-da-da. Like, okay. She's like, basically, if I wanted to keep the length that I had. I was like, The customers are like, what's going on here? And I just felt, and I felt so whack about it. This was all yesterday. This has all happened in the past 24 hours for me. And I was just like, what do I do? I was like, this looks like shit. And she was like, you can't put any colors over it. And it was blotchy. Like, this half of the hair, the pink didn't come out. And then this half had broken off. I looked fucking crazy, dog. I was like, what do I do? How do I make this salvageable? So I texted my hairstylist. I was like, emergency, I need you to cut all my shit off. Like, get rid of it. I was like, I don't want it on my head anymore. Fucking goodbye. I've had the pixie cut before. That was a total accident with the same hairdresser. Love her to death. And we miscommunicated because I didn't bring in a photo. I was high. I was really high, and I was like a little shorter than last time. Same cup, a little shorter than last time. She was like shorter, and my hair was already pretty short. She was like shorter as in like pixie. And I was like, yeah, I'm high. No idea what I'm saying. She finished up the cut. I was like, but length in the back. So I gave her like no instructions. I described something fucking whack. I'm high as shit. And she came out with like a crazy pixie mullet that looked fucking fire. Didn't know the pixie mullet was a fucking thing. But she really ate that shit up with my hair. And that was like a year ago. And at first I was like, oh, that's not what I wanted. She was like, well, that is what you described. And then she described back what I described. And I was like, yeah. And I did. I know that's what I said to you. And I didn't show you a photo. And I'm high. I was like, that's my bad, girl. Let me send you your check. Like, thank you very much. I'll pay my tab. So I had already been desensitized to seeing myself with this short of hair. Like, I've been there, done that, right? And so I knew it was a cute look for me. I was like, I texted her, I was like, let's cut it all off. And all the parts that looked weird, like, she was able to cut right to the length of, like, how long the breakage was, and just cut off, like, the end of the breakage. So, like, all this hair is, like, completely healthy. Like, it's bleached, but other than that, like, it doesn't feel weird. It definitely feels like it has product in it, but, like, it doesn't, like, the other hair felt horrible. It felt like one of those matted Party City wigs that you had as a kid that you would wear on Halloween, and you put it at the bottom of a drawer and then you pulled it out years later. Like, it was scary. I like, didn't know hair could break like that. Really traumatizing. Certainly I'm never bleaching my hair again. Certainly after, like, this blonde, it's going back to auburn. And I fear, Brinly with the fun hair, I fear it's an end of an era. I know. It's kind of, I was iconic. Like, I'm gonna remember it all too well, guys. It was really a defining moment for me. I'm really gonna hate to see it go, but I really want to be a wig girly. Always have. So I think I'm gonna play into that and do some of that. But I really do want to start growing out my hair to be waist length again, because it used to be there, and like bright auburn. I want to look like Alicent Hightower in House of the Dragon, okay? Like, I want to look like, I think this look also conveys it, but in a different way. Like, I want to look like a witch who's casting spells, you know? Like, I want the long, like, flowy witch hair that's like, I look a namen, not I look a namen, you know? Like, that's what I want. That's what I want. And I want to get to that point for someday when, well, it's interesting because, like, part of the thing with my hair, too, is I always see my hair is such an expression of myself that's why I like changing it so much. And I love this. I was really happy how it came out. I feel like Tinkerbell. No one act weird around me. No one be playing in my face with this haircut, because I'm going to be mean to you. I feel like Tinkerbell, and I'm going to be mean to you. Okay? There it is. So, where I want my hair to go, though, is I want to grow it out. I want it to be waist length. I want it to look like Auburn Christine Daae from Phantom of the Opera, because that's how I want my hair to look when I get married someday. And it's really interesting because Reese and I when we first started dating, we'd always be like, well, we'll get married anywhere in the next, when we first started dating, we first started talking about marriage, we were like, well, the earliest we would get married is in like 6 years from now. And the latest we'll get married is in like a decade from now. And I definitely think, so if like that timeline still exists, pretty much, that would be in the next 3 to 5 years. And I've always been saying like, well, and then I had been messing up my hair through that whole period. I've had a million different haircuts in the 3 years Reese and I have been together. And you know, we had set the goal of like get married anywhere between like 6 and 10 years from now. And so then, and during that time period where I was completely destroying my hair, I was like, well, when I am like, feel like I'm 3 years to 5 years out from the wedding, I'll start growing my hair back out so that I can have like my dream magical princess hair for my wedding someday. And then when this happened and I cut this all off, I was like, oh, 3 to 5 years until my wedding. That would be 3 to 5 years from now based on our original timeline. Well, yes. Hypothetically, I could be getting married in the next like 3 to 5 years. Huh. I realized that because when I set that time frame, I was like, that's so far off. And now I'm like, well, that's only 3 years from now. What? Can you believe I'm an adult? Like, guys, because I am always ragging on the bitches for getting married. Like, what are y'all doing? Because I'm like, I know your man's like not shit for you to be doing all that. That's a lot. But like, then I'm like, well, it makes sense for me. But it does. And so, anyways, my point is I have to start that hair journey now. And that will be, I guess I'll keep you guys in the loop about that because I'm gonna miss not fucking my hair. I love sitting in my office, putting a podcast on or some music and just fucking up my hair, dog. Like, taking some scissors to it, fucking putting some crazy color in it, and like, It's so fun. But the pixie's gonna be fun for this summer. I think it's gonna be really cunty, really sexy, and it really is actually the exact vibe I was trying to do when I was dyeing it blonde, but I didn't know that it'll need to be cut. And something I love, I really do love having short hair because the sensory of it. I don't gotta push hair out of my face. I don't even really gotta do it. You wake up, you put some mousse in that bitch, a little hairspray. It's a great time. Oh, I love the sensory of it. Maybe I'll just completely have short hair and then just really get crazy with the wigs. What are y'all gonna do if that happens? Nothing. Be supportive. Like, there's like a whole thing about like, I feel like men are so touchy about women who wear wigs. Like, for some reason, they really have this like infantilization about women's hair and their hair needs to be long and like, they see it as like a modesty thing, which it's like so weird. Like, what? Like, it's just so weird. But then it's like, if you even like look back in the day, like just the way women's hair has always been so controlled by men, like it's hard because on that aspect, I don't then want to play into that image. There's that side of me. But then it's also like, there is a side of me that when I was a little girl, I loved like princess hair. And so it's a hard balance of like, I want to have like the things that I wanted when I was younger, but now that I understand certain things about them, it makes it hard to want them, but it's like still the little girl who wants them. So I don't know, it's this constant push and pull and struggle of like, and it applies to a lot of things, but it applies to the hair in this case scenario of just like, does it at some point, just because yes, I understand the context of why men kind of groomed young women into setting certain beauty standards, you know, then if I'm not doing something just because they want me to do it, I'm still letting them control me, but just in like a reversed way. So it's like so much of like decentering men, and I struggle with this, so much of decentering men is about not letting your anger towards them control your actions as well. And clearly I really struggle with that because damn, they piss me off and I want to bitch. I want to bitch about it because y'all suck. You suck. did I already tell the story about last week about me screaming at that guy on the train? I've been screaming at men, guys. I really have. Like, and y'all piss me off. I'm gonna scream in your face. I'm gonna scream in your face. And I don't even need to go up down that rabbit hole because we already know I'm gonna yell at you. I'm gonna embarrass you in public. So don't even talk to me. I'm gonna blow up and act like I don't know nobody. Like, ugh. Anyways, let's move on to some good political news. So, the good news is we just had another... the good news is we're still protesting our fucking government. But this protest has allotted even bigger numbers than No Kings 2.0 and 1.0. So, biggest protest out of all three of them. I was seeing videos come out of like deep red states, like in deep red areas that are now joining in with the protest. It's fucking crazy, guys. Like, it's like, yes, these protests are getting so big because it has gone so much shittier. But to know that this is actually like really unifying the country and our hatred for this administration, sort of beautiful to at least be able to agree upon something. Like, I think that's fucking awesome. And I'm, you know, it's like the ones where it's like, you know, a lot of it is like, well, glad you finally got here. Glad you finally figured it out. It's very much the vibe. At least we're at the stage where they have, and we can be annoyed about it, but at the end of the day, it's a good thing. Everyone hates Trump is the consensus, which is great. And there's just been, what else did I see? Well, something happened, something also happened yesterday where we were talking about Trump's health. He made up some story just like randomly, like talking, he was like, and I brought the price of Sharpies down to $5. I negotiated with Sharpie, and Sharpies are now $5, all thanks to me. And then, I don't know what news organization it was, I forget, but a news outlet reached out to Sharpie and they were like, did Trump negotiate with you to bring down the price of Sharpies? And they were like, no. So he's really just, the cognitive decline is unreal. Like, but he was presenting it as a real story. It's like, no, like, so the cognitive decline is real. I feel like a lot of people I've been talking to, it really just is like, any day now, like any day. And it's really interesting just because I have people that I hear say this who like, I think of myself as a good person. It's like good people, I've never seen good people want to watch someone fucking kick the bucket so bad in their whole lives. Like, it's really just insane, this like culture we have right now of just the anger towards one man. It's what he represents, obviously, and what he's been able to get away with. But it's just, it's literally gonna feel like that scene in Hamilton, The World Turned Upside Down, like The World Turned Upside Down. That's what it's gonna feel like. It's gonna feel like that song. Like, I want to start singing, but I can't even, like, the part, I'm trying to think about the part that I'm trying to lock into, where it's like people in the streets and church bells ringing. And I overhear a soldier's chorus and hear the drinking song they're singing. Like, that's gonna be us, dog. Like, it's gonna be crazy. Where I'm just like, okay, okay, bud, hold out while I'm not in, like, New York. Like, wait till I get back. Like, just give it 1 week, okay? And then when I get back in New York, you know? Because I want to be here in New York. Like, it's literally going to be like, because, like, I think about, like, I actually get really emotional thinking about it. I remember when we did it, Joe, we did it, when Joe Biden won, and, like, literally it was people dancing in the streets, and, like, I remember I had to have been, oh god, how old was I? Maybe, like, 17 when that happened, I think. I was in high school. Yeah, I was just about 17. And I remember watching that footage of just, like, people celebrating and just, like, crying and being like, oh, thank God it's over. Oh! Little did I know. But when he kicks the bucket, well, it really will be over. And that'll be kind of beautiful. Like, it will be a lot of work to do, but that reconstruction will just be a lot easier when we can get, some dead weight out of the way. You know what I mean? So, don't mind my McDonald's Coca-Cola. I've been running around like a chicken with her head cut off trying to get everything done today. Because I'm literally going to Vegas tomorrow. So I've had to film this. I had to get my hair cut. I've had to clean my apartment. I've been packing. I mean, really mostly Reese did most of the cleaning. So everyone say, thank you, Reese, for doing most of the cleaning. I actually really needed all of it. I actually really am looking now. I'm thinking back. I'm like, actually, I did nothing. So shout out my boyfriend because, yeah, I just was really panicked about this hair. Because I was like, I wanted to take cool, like, sexy pics of, like, oh, that sounded sus. No, just, like, I want to look hot. You know, like, I always want to look slay. I wanted to take some just, like, fun Vegas pics and, like, Grand Canyon pics where, like, I feel good about myself. And then I was like, oh, I gotta get this shit cut. Now I'm very happy. Very happy with how it came out. So, yeah. Moving on. So, recently I went to go see this new movie that just came out. Actually, I had a friend who invited me who I went to go see the Halsey concert with. And she was like, Halsey's gonna be at, like, this movie premiere and, like, talking. We should go see it. And, like, see the talk back. And I was like, girl, you're so fucking right. And we went, and Halsey wasn't there. But that was okay, because the movie was still great. The movie was, Our Hero Balthazar, which I had seen online a little bit, and I was really glad that she took me to see it, because it was extremely politically relevant. I'm going to talk about it a little bit, and this is me saying you absolutely should go see it. Like, I just love also just to see a good, well-acted film. It's like, those are fucking hard to find nowadays, aren't they? It extraordinarily relevant. I think it really captures the Gen Z, Gen Alpha experience of this era of living through, like, having lived through insane gun violence within schools. It's a very dark movie, but I fully recommend it. The talkback was incredible. We got to talk to the actors, the two leads, and then the, like, writers / directors. And it was just great. It's always great to hear the creative teams talk. So I had an absolute blast. And blast for a very dark movie. It was a dark comedy. Here's the rundown of, like, kind of what the movie's about. Again, I highly recommend it. It is basically about this young man who's a teenager. He is, like, a rich kid from New York who is kind of like a performative social activist online. And he gets into contact with a young man who claims that he's going to, see, I don't want to get demonetized, but, like, you know, gun violence in schools. He claims he's going to participate in that social problem. And so the kid from New York then goes to try to stop him. The piece was extremely well acted. It's really interesting how well they implement comedy, and the actors and the writers talked about, like, you know, we really let them, like, sometimes you wouldn't even realize something was a joke until then, just how we acted it. And the performances were extremely well done. It was extremely well and thorough commentary on the issue of who the demographic is who is committing this type of violence within schools, and exploring those personalities. You really look at, and, like, exploring Southern culture and treatment of men and understanding why. I think it's an excellent exploration of young men in society currently, and making you realize how vast and deep the problems are, and how deep-rooted the problems are within these men in society. And it is a wonderful exploration of those things. The acting is incredible. And the main character, his reasoning for doing everything, like, it's kind of not, like, they don't It's not a musical, you know, it's not there like an I want song and I'm trying to achieve this. You know, his whole, like, everything he's doing is a little muddy, and there's lots of times in the movie you're like, why is this guy doing this? And I think that is very intentional. Again, I'm trying to say this all without ruining anything or giving away the plot. And the reason Halsey was, I guess she was at night 1 and we went to night 2, so whoopsie. But her fiance is in it. And he did a fantastic job. I think they absolutely do a phenomenal job of making fun of the manosphere. What, again, I find is incredible was just how really accurately, in a dark comedic way, they captured, like, what we went through, like, what I went through in my youth, like, with how we would, like, run these drills to protect ourselves in school, and just, like, how it's, like, simultaneously it is so serious, but then almost the way we handle it within actual school is ridiculous. It is comical, and it should be made fun of and be brought to light. So I absolutely recommend that movie. During the talkback, the Q&A, I got to ask a question. I was in the front row, so I was like, oh, me please. They have a character, so in the movie, our main character, Balthazar, his mother, I guess, they're big about it, but she's some type, sort of, like, politician or, like, sponsor of a politician, something like that. And she's working with a politician named Hakeem. I was like, I wonder who that's about. And basically just, like, there's comments on, like, that he's a grifter and stuff like that. But it's not supposed to, so I raised my hand. I was like, huh. I was like, so, in the movie, you have a character who's a politician named Hakeem. Any chance that is a reference to another useless politician who's a grifter that we have in our government? Any chance at all? And, of course, the actor whose name Hakeem looks just like this other person. And one of the writers was like, no, like, we wrote this in 2022. And then the other, like, director-writer took the mic and was like, he made a great point, which is he answered the question exactly how I wanted to answer it. It was the perfect answer. He was like, here's the thing. He was like, if we're looking at the topic of what this movie is, he was like, it would have been really easy to put in, you know, a big, bad, like, scary MAGA man. He's like, but you put someone in on the other side, he was like, it kind of shows that, you know, like, the problems and how seriously we take those problems. I might be misquoting him, but this is what I took away from it, I guess. I'm not realizing I'm not saying this exactly. He was basically saying it was, like, trying to show that, like, you know, this problem is allowed to keep happening because of both aisles. Both parties are, you know, that basically he was implying in the comment that he made to answer my question was that, like, the Democrats are complicit in this, and that if you just put a big bad, like, Republican in there, that then it's not as impactful to the entire message of what they're trying to accomplish with this film. And I was like, oh, beautiful. Loved it. Loved that. And just, yeah, like, calling out. So then this is when I'm going to dive into my political point. And then we got to talk a little bit, just, like, very briefly on the show. And then I was like, because then the Q&A lady was like, hey, how can they support you on this? And they were like, oh, please just talk about it on social media. And so then he was the writer who, it was, like, sitting right in front of him. So then as he was leaving, him and I were kind of joking back and forth. And I was like, hey, but I will promote it on social media. And he was like, I'll keep an eye out for it. So that was a review. I hope you felt felt like it was well representative of the film, my comments on it. And I was like, yeah, Brinly's Yapathon. Sometimes you get a little silly with it. He's gonna pull up the main title card and be like, if he starts it, he's gonna be like, who the fuck is this bitch? Like, who is she? That's why I did not talk to her, because my hair was different. But I think, yeah, like, talking about gun violence, it is important to talk about how, yes, we have to try to get this right-wing movement out, but part of the reason that they are continuing to be so successful is how complicit the Democratic Party is within everything right now. And, you know, big problem with Hakeem is you already know where he's getting his money from. So, And we don't have time to deep dive all that. I'm trying to keep this podcast short this week, and eventually, like, I guess, like, yeah, probably would be good to go into, like, these deconstructionary things, because sometimes I realize I say things and then I'm like, I'm not, like, I'm a political podcast, but I'm also just, like, I'm just talking. So sometimes I'm like, I know I need to expand upon my ideas. Today's not the day to do that, but certainly I will promise trust. Anyways, yeah, corporate Dems, sick of them. They are, I think it was CNN was doing projections of, like, who we might be running for 2028. And they gave, like, a list of 30 candidates, and there was literally only one viable option on that fucking list, and it was AOC. So this is just, like, me saying, like, guys, we really have to lock in, and, like, when they start running things, if, like, AOC is running, we have to be so vocal and unified on running her, because it's not even fucking funny. And, like, I know none of us want Gavin Newsom, and we don't want Kamala. We just need to stand 10 toes down on trying to get a candidate that we actually can feel like we can fight for. And we need someone who's gonna run a campaign like Zoran. And we need that on a national scale so bad. Like, if we could get a Zoran type figure, can you imagine getting a Zoran type figure into the White House? The breath of fucking fresh air would be fucking incredible. So I'm gonna keep living in the reality of that's gonna happen. I'm gonna, stay aware of the other realities, but I hope you also continue to live in that reality and be ready to stand 10 toes down on, like, we're not settling for a moderate. We need we need a candidate that people can get passionately behind. So, yeah. Moving on from the politics bullshit. What am I going to be doing in Vegas, you ask? Dog, I have no idea. I've planned nothing. My dad planned this trip, and I was just like, I'm going to show up. And I don't know about Brinly doing any gambling. That feels like bad for Brinly. Because certainly if I lose money, that's bad, but certainly if I win money, that could be worse. Like, I don't think so. I just don't think that's Brinly needs to be doing all that. Like, maybe, like, I know how to play poker. So maybe, like, a game of poker, because that'd be kind of cool and fun and, like, iconic. But, like, other than that, like, for funsies, like, mostly, like, thinking about it, like, paying, like, to lose all my money and just doing it for the funsies of it. That's what I'm gonna think about for that. Yeah, I don't know about gambling. Gambling just seems like... It seems kind of dumb, immature, and babyish to me. Sorry, guys. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. I kind of think gambling's dumb and immature and babyish and, like, something that men do. So I don't really think I want to do it. I actually think I want to... Oh my gosh, did you hear that outside? That's crazy. This is like an interior room. You could really hear that motorcycle. Drive safe out there, man. That was crazy. Yeah, so I don't think I'll be gambling. We're probably gonna go see, like, there's some shows. So we're probably gonna try to hit a show. I think we're doing, like, a buffet. That sounds cool. There's a pool. I can't get my hair wet, but I can sit there. So that'll be cool. I guess I can drink. That'll be fun. But really what I'm interested in, I'm going with my little brother. My little brother's gonna be there, and I play Fortnite with him. He's the one I play Fortnite with. We're gonna be like, we're in Sandy Strip, which is Vegas and Fortnite. We're really gonna be like, wow, guys, we're in Las Vegas. We're in Sandy Strip. It's Fortnite. And no Fortnite for a week for Brinly. I think I'm gonna die in this house. I think I'm gonna die in this house. It's gonna be me not being able to play Fortnite for a week. Guys, I'm not gonna be able to play Fortnite for a whole week. Probably saved me some money. I bought so much shit on Fortnite recently. Terrible, disgusting. And still I just like to play as, Sabrina Carpenter. It's like when I was a kid and I had like 50 Webkins, but I only like to play as my pink pony. Her name was Allie. She had this little song. They all, like, different pets had songs, and the song for Allie, who was she was the pink pony, and the song would go, and I know you have a stylish treadmill and a favorite pair of shoes. I know the next time I'll see you, you'll be the prettiest pink pony in town. You're the prettiest pink pony in town. Yeah, that was the song. And I would listen to that shit, and I'd be like, and I know you got a stylish treadmill. Girl, what the fuck is a stylish treadmill? I don't know, but she had one. She was on that shit running, because she was a horse, like, gallop. Like, what? I still log into my Webkins once a year, so my account doesn't get deleted. Try to still have my Webkins, but Fortnite is like Webkins, because I literally will have like 100 skins, and then I'm like, what do I play as? Sabrina Carpenter. I love shooting. See, like, a lot of guns. I'm like, wow, a lot of guns. That's gonna be taken out of context. I'm like, someday I'm getting clipped, and it's gonna be bad. But I love upsetting a man when I win in Fortnite as Sabrina Carpenter, and then I hit that emote, and I'm like, and I like my men all incompetent, and I swear they choose me. I'm not choosing. I don't know how to do the dance, but I do a little emote, and it's fucking hilarious. So, yeah, going to Vegas, and then I'm going to the Grand Canyon, and I'm doing like a 6-hour hike, which sounds like a lot, but for Grand Canyon hikes, really not actually. Fun fact. And I'm so excited for her to hike, because my book, Andromeda, the first book is primarily set on like a desert planet that is based off of the Grand Canyon. And it's just gonna be like so cool, because in my mind I've spent a lot of time in that place. And so to finally get to spend actual time in it, and like I'm like, oh, I'm worried I'm gonna go and I'm like, I got certain details wrong and I need to go fix everything, but I'm really, really excited to just get to spend time there and like spend some real time in nature, and like it's just a completely different biome that I've ever spent time in before. I'm so excited for that. I'm just so excited. So that's gonna be my trip. So everyone say, you really have a good trip in the comment section below. I'm very excited. So that's where I'm going to be if any crazy national headlines happen and I don't address them. And I figured we'll end this podcast on a little tarot reading, because I got a tarot reading for myself earlier this week. And it was great. I haven't had a tarot reading in like 3 years. But it was incredible. It was really what I needed to hear, and it reminded me how impactful tarot can be and how it really can, like, yeah, just tell you what you already know but certainly need to hear. And it was all stuff I knew, but it was just great to hear someone else say it to me and be like, ooh, I was right. Okay. It was that type of reading where I was like, I actually feel really good. Like, I need confirmation that, like, I don't need to wait for a shoe to drop, and I do like you don't. So that was really exciting. I'm just going to kind of do a group reading here really quick for kind of all of us. So that's what we'll leave this podcast episode on. Okay. Starting with the Wheel of Fortune. Going into the 5 of Wands. Going into the 7 of Cups. Okay. So, let me show you guys this. This is the energy we're dealing with. Can you guys see that? Yeah? Okay. So with the Wheel of Fortune coming out, I do feel like in general this is assessing that, like, fate right now, we are in a turning point. I was just talking to my hairdresser about this today. The energy feels like we are at a tipping point, and like that tipping point is coming. We all feel it. We feel the change of fate is happening, and it is manifesting right now as like a lot of violence and a lot of chaos. And that is going to continue even as the tipping point happens. However, like, this is when we're getting into the 7 of Cups. We're about to have at least a lot of choices. You have to understand that right now we are being held hostage as a country. Okay? And we don't have a lot of choices right now. Now, shit's gonna go down. I really think any day now, I've had a lot of talk about kicking the bucket, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't think so. I just don't think so. And I think someone's going night-night, okay? And maybe I'm wrong. And then you can tell me I told you so in the comments, and I don't even care, because that boosts my content anyways, okay, guys? So, we're gonna have a lot of choices of how to fix things, handle things once dear leader is dearly departed. Okay? We are going to have a lot of choices. Some of them are going to be really good. Some of them are going to be really bad. Good choices will be made, but there'll also be bad choices made. It's going to feel like a lot more chaos, okay? However, it will be better than at least what's happening now. Not going to be good, but it's going to start moving in a better direction, because at least the ability to make good choices is going to be able to be made. Okay, the world. What's happening right now is actually really unifying for the world, and the population of people who have been paying attention, and so many more people are paying attention to like what's happening in culture than they ever have before, and are connected in ways that they have never been connected before. So it's like, once it happens, and I really like, it's like, I just feel, when I think about it, I feel lightness, and I feel it's near. And that moment is going to really unify the world. And it's going to be go time. And that's going to be some chaos, because it's going to be go time. And again, there's going to be good things that happen because of it. There's going to be bad things that happen because of it. Okay? Our job is to focus on the good, understand how we achieved it, so that we can recreate it. Right now, and like, the world is going to be focusing, and for a good moment after that first thing happens, it is going to be a unifying like event, and it's gonna change all of our consciousness, like the grief and like the release of just being like, oh my god, it's like, in a sense, like, it's not over, because you know, it's not over till it's over, but it's like, this phase is over, and that release of that is going to make us have realizations collectively, for the collective, that we didn't even, that are all, like, I feel this, I'm getting this feeling of, like, it was so obvious. There's going to be a lot of, like, adoy energy, and then it's, like, because of that energy, and, like, well, this was an obvious epiphany we all should have had together. I feel like there's something that once it happens, we're going to be like, oh, and then there's going to be something actionable about it, that with some mass global realization that we had. And I'm feeling this just, like, plowing energy of like momentum, and everything's gonna happen really, really fast, but it's gonna be really unifying for the whole world. The whole world's gonna be like, thank God! Okay, so the High Priestess reverse. Okay, so and then I take this too as like, this dogmatic religious system we have, with this being reversed, they are going to be like in shock. Like, they are not, like, because cult leaders, even if they don't, like, okay, so they don't say literally out loud, like, he's gonna live forever, right? However, cults always think that the dear leader is gonna live forever. And you can tell that they don't say that out loud. They don't say the crazy part out loud, at least on that one. But in a way they do, because they're like, run for a third term. Bro's not getting through this one. What are we talking about, run for a third term? He's not running anywhere, like, at all. Like, dude is literally not only shitting the bed politically, but literally shitting the bed, because we know he wears diapers, okay? So, the cult and the dogmatic religious systems that are tied into that cult, they are going to go into shock, because they never think dear leader can die. They never think that that's going to happen. And every cult, if you have studied cults, and I was big when I was younger into studying cults, I think because of this, it always happens. It is a part of being in a cult, and they never think it's gonna happen until it does happen. Okay, so they're gonna be like in shock and frenzy, and so that multi-month period of shock and what do we do scrambling because they never thought it was going to happen, that's where we can take advantage and we can push our movement forward, right? And judgment, oh, the judgment card reverse. This is, there's going to be some accountability. There's going to be some. I feel like, you know, because then we got old, as to quote Jennifer Welch from the I've Had It podcast, our favorite smoky-eyed sociopath, J.D. Vance. When J.D. is put in there, I do feel the move for impeachment is going to happen, and that is going to be total chaos. So I feel like there's going to be accountability on that end, but then, like, real accountability from the, like, Justice Department is not going to be there because it's going to be so fractured and so broken. And so it's like, I feel some semblance of justice. There is some rectifying, but not to the extent that we want. But I do feel that, like, it's a path that we are going to continue down and be societally, culturally prevalent. This accountability movement is really going, like, there's going to be a whole movement of accountability that follows this. And that's going to be the phase we're moving into. We're going to move into a phase of accountability and prosecution. And it's going to be, like, pushback on the prosecution. People are, oh, we're going to try this person. That's not going to happen. And then we're going to have to, like, that's where, like, the protesting doesn't stop once dear leader is departed. You know? We keep doing it because there needs to be accountability for those who have enabled this. Like, he didn't do it on his own. He sure as hell didn't do it on his own. I have something in my shirt sleeve. Anyways, oh, that's like the new era that we're gonna be in. At least I think our focus is gonna be accountability, and it's like, even though, like, part is like, I really do want AOC to run and be the candidate and to win, because I would love for the first female president of the United States to be a Puerto Rican woman from New York. Like, okay, let's look at my best friend. Like, they're making my best friend president. You ever think about that? It's fucking crazy. That'd be so cool. But I also would hate for her first, you know, term as president to be just basically repealing back everything that happened and, like, so much focus on that and not actually pushing things forward, not having time to push things forward. That would suck. However, she would do what would need to get done. That'd be really great. And then open the doors for more people like her to run. The King of Cups or the Knight of Cups in reverse. Yeah, this is just going to be a time of momentum, of energetic and emotional change within all of us. Like, this is going to really, like, the whole past decade and everything that has led to this happening is going to be so heavy on all of our minds. And it, like, this burden of deconstruction, because we think we can't deconstruct this any further. Well, okay, someone like me, I'm like, I feel like I can't deconstruct this any further, and surely I can. But there's a lot of people who, like, think they understand what's going on and really never have, and it's finally going to hit them. And so it's going to be just a lot of just deconstruction on a cultural level that, like, I think there's going to be a lot of people where it's like, oh, you really didn't get how bad it was, and they're just going to finally come to terms with it now that it's over. Like, now that it's over and they feel safe, they can finally deconstruct. And that's going to be a lot on all of us, because it's just going to be a lot of, like, hand-holding of, like, yeah, like, a lot of, like, I'm not going to say I told you so, but I did. And then the Five of Pentacles. I do think, like, the problems with the economy, like, I don't see the economy necessarily, like, improving. I feel like the economy is going to be stagnant and almost be as bad as it is until we have a new president. Like, that feels like that's actually going to be the hardest part. It's that the economy is going to be fucking horrible. So I would say with that, like, start preparing now. Like, make sure you got your dry goods pantry stocked up. Be prepared for things. Learn to cook at home. If you can't cook at home, cooking at home is the greatest gift you can ever give yourself. And the greatest gift you ever give yourself is learning to cook at home. Learning to cook at home, know how to buy very cheap ingredients and make excellent meals out of it. That is the best thing you can do for yourself, no matter how, like, of a Herculean task that might seem, because I know to some people it really is. As much of a task as that might feel like it might be, like, that should be a priority. Start learning to do that now, because this economy situation is not getting any better at all. The Hanged Man, okay, also in reverse. So, I feel like almost like the Hanged Man is all of these have been in reverse. Literally all of them. And I've shuffled this deck. I've used it many times. The only one that were upright were the first 3, which is really interesting. The Hanged Man, I feel like just has been the country. This is representative of the country, but the thing is, this is a card we're going to end on. The Hanged Man, actually, when it's in the upright, he just looks like he's standing. So it's kind of like, we've been hanging ourselves, but we are going to get back on our feet. It's going to be try us, we're going to get back on our feet. And we just have to keep moving, and every single day. Which maybe that isn't the most brightest, cheeriest message that we wanted to receive in this reading, but that's the energy. That's what we're doing moving forward. Like, that's the vibe. Go with it. We're all gonna make it work. So, and I'm gonna be here for you every step of the way. We're gonna deconstruct these things together. I would really love to push people, like, comment something if you have something you want me to talk about, deconstruct, in the comment section below. I'd love to be more interactive with you guys, so I'm gonna promote that. I think we're gonna call it a night, because it's pretty late. I haven't packed my bags yet, and Lord knows that the airports have been a fucking shit show. So, who knows what the airport will be like tomorrow for me. So I actually have to go pack my bag, because I have to get up early to go to the airport. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you have a great week. Stay safe. Love you all. And I'll see you for next week's Yapathon. Bye, guys.